AFC Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, and you've probably got to say the pressure is starting to mount a little bit on Bruno Lage. It's now 5 games without a win at the start of the Premier League season and a goalless draw and very little clear-cut chances against one of the worst sides in the division and a team that had just conceded 9 goals last weekend. We went unchanged for this game, the same lineup that started against Newcastle United, which surprised me in one way. I thought we'd change it up slightly, maybe get some more attacking plays in there. There are 1 or 2 performances I thought on Sunday, which could have been addressed. We saw Sarr starting goal, Johnny, Collins, Kilman and Semedo across the back 4, a flat midfield 3 again of Núñez, Neves and Moutinho, and a front 3 of Neto, Guedes and Jimenez. We saw Neves sit very deep throughout most of the game, almost slotting into a defensive midfield role to collect the ball from deep. Bournemouth, throughout the first half, sat deep, and I think they probably went into this game just with not wanting to lose. If they knew if they went out and attacked, they weren't probably going to get much joy out of it. And you would say, looking at the stats, you would probably think Wolves were the strongest team and the better team. I'd say they had more control on the game, but once again, no penetration in the movements, going forward whatsoever. And another frustrating game to watch. I'm extremely happy that I didn't take up the offer of having a ticket for this game. Wolves called me last week after me joining the ballot and said, "Do you want a ticket?" I ummed and ahed about it and said no, and my word, I'm grateful and glad that I didn't, because if I had travelled down 3 to 4 hours to watch that load of rubbish, then I would have been very disappointed, and obviously take my hat off to anyone that has gone down there to watch that today. First half, closest we came, probably hit the crossbar. Matheus Núñez ball came across and he sort of hit a cross goal. I think he caught the goalkeeper Neto by surprise as well and just clipped the top of the bar there. But other than that, again, first half, very little opportunities. Just half chances once again. Just typical Wolves, almost trying to walk the ball into the back of the net. But the first half, it was clear. Pedro Neto, so heavily linked with a move away this summer, and fans almost desperate. I'm being one of them, desperate to keep him, but I've got to say, this start to the season has been very, very poor. And it's a shame, because in pre-season I thought he looked really sharp, he looked really exciting. Today he looked void of any confidence. Exactly the same thing with Raul Jimenez, who's been nothing short of atrocious, I thought, today. There was one move in particular. Matheus Núñez gets it down on the right-hand side. A ball fizzed across the area and Jimenez literally just stood at the back post. Any striker full of confidence, maybe the Jimenez of 2-3 years ago, would have spun off his man, got into the near post and put Wolves 1-0 up there and then. And that's why part of me feels like we just start Sasha Kalajdzic up front on Saturday. Something completely different. Someone that's fit, someone that's going to have confidence, someone that's going to have no fear going into that game against Southampton. Because like I said, I think the pressure is very much on Bruno Lage now. And it's a very interesting position for Fosun to be in, because they've spent a hell of a lot of money. I've said it many times before. I think on paper it's one of our best squads, or the best squad we've had since we've been back in the Premier League. And the team just aren't living up to it. And we're creating the half chances, but just not putting them into the back of the net. And when things aren't going your way and you look low on confidence, unfortunately, the one person to start to turn and blame is obviously going to be the head coach or manager. So I think that's why Bruno Lage has got to win on Saturday against Southampton, because you look at the fixtures after that coming up, it's a hell of a tough run. It's an extremely tough run, and I think it's probably only going to get worse for him from there. Second half didn't really improve. Bournemouth probably started the better out of the two teams in the second half. The longer the game went on, Bournemouth sat deeper and deeper, and obviously we're going to make it difficult for us. And like I said earlier, they just wanted to get a point out of that game, try and get themselves back on track. And we just showed nothing really. A couple of half shouts of penalties from both sides, to be honest. Biggest chance of the game though, Raul Jimenez through on goal, dinks it over the goalkeeper and puts it wide. Again, you've got to be putting those opportunities away. I don't know what they watered the pitch with at half time, because there was players slipping all over the place. A chance where Guedes had brought it down as well, chested it down and slipped. Aït-Nouri slipped a couple of times, so I'm not sure if they watered it with oil or whatever, but there were a couple of instances like that. But again, too many times where we were just trying to walk the ball in the back of the net, just taking too many unnecessary touches. yes, I don't want us just to have pointless shots on goal from range, but I think when you're within sort of the 18 to 20 yards and you've got a sight of goal, let's test the goalkeeper. Let's try and get our confidence up. I think we made it far too easy for Bournemouth today, unfortunately. And yeah, another frustrating day at the office. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people disappointed, a lot of negative comments in the comment section. I've tried to back the regime, the system as much as I can. A lot of people talking about relegation. I think it's way too early to talk about that, and I don't think we will. I can bet very, very good money on the fact of that. Fosun will make sure that doesn't happen, but things have to change very, very quickly. I'm really hoping the new striker Sasha Kalajdzic can come in and make a difference. And I think he will. There's a lot of people saying that it's not the striker that's the issue, but I think it is. I think, like I said earlier, there were moments in that game where Jimenez could have done things so differently. But yeah, big pressure on Saturday. Going to be tense atmosphere. Could turn toxic quite quickly at Molineux if Wolves don't get a goal early as they can. But let's hope we have a good transfer deadline day. And I think it's annoying because we're gonna have, I think, it could have been a busy transfer window. I don't know if Fosun will change their mind now based on this result. But I wanted to go into transfer deadline day after a win, jubilant, going to enjoy it. I just don't know. I think there's going to be some sort of negative atmosphere tomorrow, but let's wait and see. Guys, I appreciate your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you all very, very soon.